Hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker, and today we're going to be talking about is 3 years on YouTube with my annoying self, and also 5,000 subscribers with my annoying self, and also what's to come in the future, and that's pretty much it. We're also going somewhere interesting, which is why I have Google Maps up, so stay tuned. And as voted for, we are on the Honda Super Magna. Thank you for everyone who watched that short, and thank you for everyone who did vote. I do appreciate it. Oh look, cool old castle. I must oh, and in good news, I fixed the drone, so we're going somewhere to fly. Well, I hopefully fixed the drone. We're going somewhere to fly the drone, and if it's fixed, we will. That is really cool. I would like to take pictures of that with my drone. Oh, that's a corner. Should probably pay attention to that. So yes, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel that has officially been on YouTube for more than 3 years. 3 years, over 700,000 views, over 5,000 subscribers, and a hell of a lot of my life and a hell of a lot of joy for me. So first and foremost, how I want to start out this video, I think I did up my strap one thing too tight. But how I want to start off this video is first and foremost a massive, gigantinormous thank you to everyone who has watched the channel now, from the very start, in the middle. If you're just coming back, if you watched it before and then didn't watch it then again, I just want to thank everyone who has contributed to the success of the channel. And by the way, I will talk about how I measure success in a minute, but basically I just want to thank everyone who's given their time to make this channel what it is. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate everyone who's ever contributed, even if it's just in a couple of watch minutes here and there. I appreciate you all massively. So where we're going today is a place called, sorry, I have to itch my nose, Clashganny Lock. This is a road that I actually don't know why I didn't come on before. It's a road that myself and my friends would cycle, and the views from here are beautiful. Now you might not get to see them all because, you know, I'm riding a bike and it's you know, it's not the safest thing to turn your head all the time, and there's not that many places to safely mount a 360 cam off this bike for very long. You'll see clips throughout the video where I had it mounted earlier for a couple of minutes at a time and all of them were pretty stressful, but I will put the road up on the screen now, and if it's something that you'd like to do, I would highly recommend it. I would recommend it on a motorbike though, because it's kind of narrow and not so good for cars. Look at that though. That is why you come out here. It's absolutely beautiful. There's some places when I ride my bike there, and I think, you know, I'm always thinking to myself, oh, you know, would I build a house there, whatever, but that's not really, I would, but I mean, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I want to live somewhere where places like this are accessible. I don't really mind if I don't get to wake up every single morning and look at them. I don't mind, because I can do this, and that's okay. And I mean, that is why I started YouTube, was to show everyone these views that I enjoyed so much. Well, it's not why, it's one of the reasons. I've talked about the reasons why many times, but it's one of the reasons why, was to show you this. Like, that is absolutely stunning, in my opinion. It's absolutely bloody beautiful. Just, I will never ever tire of it. But anyway, the kind of thing that I want to say anyway, starting off, is how I measure success, because it's something I get asked a lot. You know, are you happy with how your channel did this year? Is there anything that you wish you'd done differently? Is there anything that you regret? No is the answer. I don't regret anything that I've done on YouTube, because I've never, I think it's easy, right, when you don't do like shady stuff, that makes it very easy, because obviously there's some videos that maybe I look back on, I'm like, okay, I could have done better there, I could have done this, I could have done that, but in the main, you know, my videos have always been what I'm doing on the bike, where I want to go on the bike anyway. You know, I wanted to go to Clashganny Lock anyway, just that I'd bring you along and do this video while I was doing it, and that's a really cool church. But also, that's just kind of how it is for me, you know. That's kind of how I set up all of these videos, it's always been, I want this channel to just be, imagine you were here, you know, that's kind of it. I never ever want to this channel to become like me being someone like a famous person is, you know what I mean? Like when people meet a famous person, I would hope that anyone who's ever messaged me, I just chat to people. If you want to talk about bikes, I'm going to talk about bikes. I am a completely normal person, obviously, because you know, it's well, maybe not normal. Normal is probably too strong a word. But you know what I mean? I'm not someone who has aspirations of being as famous as Brad Pitt, because I mean, I'm not an idiot. I know I'm never going to be as magnificent as he is looks wise. God damn, he's an attractive man. But anyway, that's kind of to lay that out. But the aspirations of the channel, I got for about a month. I remember I was watching stuff and I was like, oh my god, it's going to grow. Oh my god, it's going to be like this many views and this and that and the other, and I'm going to be able to retire and just do bikes for the rest of my life. And that was ages ago. I mean, that was when I had like 1,000 subs, say, and that lasted for a couple of weeks. And then I was like, why am I getting so obsessed with this? Because I have always said if I stopped enjoying it, I'd stop doing it, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And that was making me not enjoy it. So now, you know, I often get messages from people like, oh, now obviously most of them are bots, but they're like, oh, your SEO score isn't great, oh, we can help you get more views. And some of them, when I reply to them, you know, go on and yourself, stupid bot, they get very upset. I thought I was dead. They get very upset and then, you know, reply back saying like, why are you calling me a bot? I'm a person. I'm like, alright, well, speak like a bot, get called a bot. Like, why are you messaging me about my SEO? You know, I'm not a big channel, so it's not like you can grab any money off me. Just piss off. But that's one thing that's, you know, again, it's very easy for me to do that because this is a hobby. This is a hobby for me. I love bikes. I just want to ride bikes. The reason I do reviews on bikes is because I want to ride those bikes. I personally want to find out what that bike is like. I personally want to see what the strong points and the weak points, you know, from riding it from someone who rides it from the first time. And I think that's why it's easy for me to make those videos. It's why a lot of people say they come across natural. They are natural. I don't script them, you know what I mean? It's, if I don't remember stats on a bike, I don't stop and look them up and try to figure them out. The only thing I do read off my phone sometimes is the power and torque specifications, because it saves me looking them up when I get home. But everything else is stuff I have personally read on that bike that I remember, and that's why it's easy for me to do. And the same with this stuff, you know, I could do voiceovers and pretend to be super knowledgeable about things, but I'm not, and that's just a fact. I'm not super knowledgeable about them, you know what I mean? I look at a place on Google Maps and I go, oh, I'd like to go see that looks interesting. I read maybe a couple of lines on it and I'm like, oh, that's all I need to know, I'm going. And the thing is, I'm always generally going to know more about a bike because I read a hell of a lot more about bikes. So that's one reason why some people say, oh, but you know this, that and the other. Yeah, I do, because I read about it. That's pretty much it, you know what I mean? I read the specs, I read the press releases, and that's what it is. You know, I've always, this is where I was getting to. It's very easy for me to be proud of the videos I put out in a way that may or may not help people. I've always said I am not a mechanic, I am not an expert. I do get jobs done, and if you follow along and see, oh hey, that's how he did it, maybe that'll work for me, look at that. All the better, you know what I mean? That makes me happy. Doggy! Oh, that's a cute dog. All the better, you know. If that type of thing can help someone, then I'm actually delighted, you know. It makes me very, very, very happy. It makes me proud to an extent that I have managed to give that person a little bit of help. And I mean, they could be literally half a world away. They could be in Australia, and that's a nice feeling. That is what, in a very long-winded way, I absolutely love this road. Beautiful. This is, now we're off the road that I cycle on, by the way. This is another road. It's something that's what I kind of decided. You know, I took a step back and I said, right, well, what do I want from the channel myself? What do I want? And I want to give people good, valuable information. I want to entertain people if I can. You know, growth is nice. If growth opens doors into riding more bikes, getting more things to review and stuff, that's fantastic. If it gets more discounts for people, that's fantastic. That's what I want. I don't care if I don't want to be rich. I've never particularly wanted to be rich, because being rich, what comes with being really rich, I think, is working 7 days a week. And I know people who work 7 days a week, and they work really, really hard, and they are very wealthy, and they deserve their wealth. And when I see that, that's not something I want to do. You know, I see it and I'm like, what about your weekends? What about your friends? You know, what about your family? What about traveling to somewhere you want to see? When do you get the time to do that? I just need to look at that. That is absolutely breathtakingly cool and beautiful, and I love it. I love this view. I love this road. Look at that. Look at that. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. I need to come out here and fly the drone at some point as well. But that's, you know, that's just kind of where my mindset is. You know, you could, and there's nothing wrong with it. I've said it many, many times. If you want to work 7 days a week, if that's your ambition in life, fair play to you and best of luck. It's just not somewhere that, it's not something that I aim for anymore. I aim for spending as much time on my bikes and seeing places as is possible. Now I still try very hard in my job and my career, because I mean, the thing about it is you have to have a balance, don't you? Oh, look at this corner. Ah, yes. I hate that bump on exit. But all the rest. Sorry, this is exciting here now for a sec. Oh, I love that patch of road. But anyway, yeah, there has to be a balance. To pay for all these fun things that I do on the channel, I have to earn the money from my job. So that's why I still do the job I do. Otherwise I would just like quit and try to survive on what I get from YouTube every month, which you'd never get videos anymore, because I wouldn't be able to afford fuel. And that's the thing, YouTube is a bonus. It's a bonus to me. Everything that comes from YouTube, it's a bonus, and it all goes back into bikes. And that's how I do it. And that's, anyway, basically how I rate success on YouTube for me is I have made a lot of lifelong, well, I hope lifelong, friends through YouTube, through the internet, which still is kind of amazing, because I know it's how a lot of people make friends now, but I've made a lot of good friends through the internet, whether it be playing games online, whether it be through the motovlogging community, which is mind-blowing. It really, really is. You know, I speak to a lot of people who are kind of all scattered all over the world on a weekly basis, and that is amazing. It's really cool, but it's also amazing. And again, I just want to thank everyone who does speak, because that is genuinely how I rate. If I do a video and it doesn't get much engagement from comments, and I know I'm supposed to care more about likes, and I'm supposed to care more about subscribers, but if I sit down and I see loads of comments and good watch time, that is what makes my day. That is what makes my day. Not even views. If I have 2,000 views but the average watch time is only a minute, what good is that to me? You know what I mean? People haven't enjoyed the video I've made, and then I'm not pleased with it. You know what I mean? I could get 2,000 subscribers off one video. I won't care, because how many of them commented? You know what I mean? How many of them really interacted with the video? You know, reached out to me on Instagram, liked the video. Likes are nice, I will admit. It's nice to see a video getting likes. But again, it's not the be all and end all. What's important to me is talking to people, interacting with the community of bikers, and I do also like meeting up with people on occasion. And that's another thing I will say while we're on this topic is, I am, in real life, I am quite an anxious person. So when it comes to meeting with people, new people, even if it doesn't seem like it, I'm dying on the inside, and it takes me a bit to get over that. So if you're someone who's asked to meet me before, and even if I've said yes and then cancelled or whatever else, I apologise. It's not on purpose, it's not you, it's not because I don't want to go for a spin, it's just that day wasn't the right day for me to go out and do it. And that's unfortunately how it is sometimes. So I apologise if that's ever been you, and that's ever happened to you, and I've ever done that to you. I apologise. But yeah, the 3 years thing then is kind of mental, because It's one of my friends said to me, and I mentioned it on the Teapot One podcast, you know, at the time was coming up on 3 years, and one of my friends said to me, he was like, Mike, when are you 30? And I said, I'm 30 in June. And he said, well, in that case, and correct me if I'm wrong, but does that not mean that you have been doing YouTube for more than 10% of your life? And that took me aback a little bit. Because, you know, when you look at it and you see YouTubers who've been there for 10 years, 8 years, 15 years, you know, the likes of MCM, Mighty Car Mods, for those of you uncouth savages who've never heard of them. It's a bit mad to think that 10% of my life, when you rate it like that, 10% of my alive life, I've been on YouTube. And if you break it down and, you know, you accept that most people aren't really human until they're like 12 and can do things for themselves, 10, 8 in some countries, depends on your parents, I suppose. It's even more than 10%, it's like 20, 25 of my, you know, I'm a useful creature that can look after myself life. Then it changes a lot. And it's just baffling. It's baffling that I get up every day, I check my comments, it still excites me to see, you know, has someone commented, have I gotten a couple more views, have I gotten a couple more subscribers. It's awesome and I love it, and thank you again, everyone. And now I'm going to stop talking. There's people. Oh, cool. The swordsman with a really small head and really bendy legs. Oh no, they've suffered the deboning disease. It's very sad. Hopefully they can still do sword stuff. Would be sad if Bendy Bones McGee lost their sword stuff. This is Clashganna, cool town, cool buildings, but that's a pity the Anchor is closed and decrepit by the looks of it. But we're not stopping here. This is not where we stop. Oh, look at all the houseboats. Cool. And anyway, that's where we'll get back onto the normal video. So basically, to reiterate, yes, I have more than 5,000 subscribers. Yes, that is an absolutely amazing number that I never thought I would hit. And I've been here for more than 3 years, but it's not the be all and end all for me. The be all and end all for me is all of you, the people who watch and enjoy my content and interact with my content and care about my content, and in some rare cases care about me and my bikes. It means a lot. It means the world to me, to be honest. It's what I get up to do. Obviously, you know, my job, like I said, is not my life, so I get up every day, and what drives me is the next plan in my head, the next project, the next thing that I want to do with the channel. That's what keeps me going. Whether that be for right or wrong, that's the truth of it. Anyway, that was probably a hell of a lot of words about something that I could have covered in 5 minutes as usual. But I mean, if you're watching this video, you knew that already. Clashganny Lock, the place we're going. So Clashganny Lock, the reason locks exist are obviously for canals and waterways, and the reason they were used was to transport goods, heavy goods, livestock back in the day around the country from where they were grown, where they were bred. It's a great parking spot on the corner where you can't see around it. But anyway, they were used basically to transport goods, and locks were used to either, you know, stop the flow of a river, to build up another side, or to lower another side, lower a boat back down. You'll see when we get there. And they're just cool, basically. I'm not a lockspert in any form of the word, but I do think that they're really cool old piece of architecture. Would you call that architecture? I suppose you would still, wouldn't you? No, it's not a building, but it's still an architect has looked at it and designed it, I suppose, or maybe it was just an engineer. We'll call it an engineer, because I am an engineer, so I prefer that word. Go engineers, yeah. I imagine it would be an engineer actually anyway, wouldn't it? Architects are houses and buildings and stuff like that. Anyway, the other thing I will talk about before we get to Clashganny Lock is those plans and projects. Like I was talking about, I do like doing them. And what's coming up, so I have a couple. There's the mount on my helmet right now, dangodesigns.co.uk. It's a mount that I will apologise to them, I kind of ignored for a long time. They sent one to me and I didn't really see what I would use it for, because I had my normal clampies, and I will admit I was wrong, and I should have listened to the person who messaged me after they sent it. I was like, you can use it for this and this and this. Anyway, there's a video coming up on all my mounts because people keep asking. That's one little project that I'm excited about, because there's a giveaway there. I also was trying recently to fly to Germany, buy a bike and ride it home, to show, you know, you can do it, and probably have to sell that bike because I can't afford or keep another bike. But it was a project I wanted to do. Unfortunately, the two bikes that I attempted to buy and reach out to buy, they were sold before I got to do it. But that's something that I now kind of have my heart set on doing. Oh my god. So we'll see how that goes. That is a lot of muck. Not good for bikes. And the other thing is, if you've watched this far, there's a giveaway as part of this video. My GorillaBiker hat that you see a lot, I'm going to give one away. And I would like... Clashganny lock view. Can we go down to it, I wonder? I would like for everyone who got this far in the video, who actually watched this far, leave a comment and include Goose in the comment, because what I want to do is obviously not announce that there's a giveaway at the start of the video, because then you always get a lot of random people who don't actually watch the channel, and I want one of the people who watch most of the videos to win it. That's it's biased, yep, but the last couple of giveaways I've done, there's been someone who's commented that has never commented before, and afterwards when I figured out how to check where people subscribed, they weren't even subscribed. I don't want them to win, I want one of you to win. So leave a comment and just make sure you include Goose in the comment, and you will be in with a chance to win. We'll do it by random comment picker thing that a lot of people use. That's what we will use to pick. But yeah, a hat in whatever colour you want, sent to your house. Ooh. Or if you want a different piece of merchandise, we can also talk about that. Anyway, here we are at Clashganny. Ooh. Already those trees are really pretty and cool. Now, as far as I know, the house is not lived in. That's actually at the lock. That house is very clearly lived in, Clashganny house. That's pretty. But the one just beside the lock, the old lock keeper's house, that house is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, I love the stonework on it. Anyway, the actual lock keeper's house, the one beside the lock, that is no longer in use as far as I know. We'll see when we get there, but this is absolutely gorgeous, just even riding down here. Strictly no parking access for emergency vehicles. Yeah, that's okay, this is a bike. And another beautiful thing about bikes is you can kind of just wedge them in wherever you want, which is obviously nice. This road is gorgeous. I love a good, like, little quiet, slow road like this. It's just nice. Now there's a lot of green in the middle of it, so we won't hit that. Waterways Ireland, no parking, day or night. Fair enough. We'll park over here. Out of the way of the cars. Now, oh, actually, yeah, this is, I have two Dango Designs ones, you see. This is the other one, and what I really like about it is what I'm going to do here is attempt this. I haven't actually tried it yet. So you push down on them to turn them. Now I should just be able to strap this on and take off my helmet, and hopefully you'll still be able to hear me. It's always a pain leaving the helmet on in all these situations, so hopefully this is also going to have changed that. Now, so hopefully this mount on my this mount, which is on my GoPro, which is on my bag strap, works and you can hear me. But this is Clashganny lock down there, and there's an old houseboat. I don't know, is that actually being lived in? Maybe it is. But this is the lock. So we'll walk down here first, and that's the old lockkeeper's house, which, as you can see, is actually all kind of boarded up and obviously not in use. But it's still a really pretty spot. There's a walk. There's an actual walk you can do here, and I'll throw up the drone in a minute so you can see it. Oh, you actually probably are seeing the drone right now. But this is the old lock. So like I said, you know, it'd bring the boats up or down. I'm not sure why, actually. If anyone knows why, leave it in the comments. Obviously, I'm not a lock expert, like I said, but I would imagine it was to... There you go. See that section there? Okay, I figured it out. And correct me if I'm wrong. This section here is quite a lot lower than that there of water, right? So what I'm guessing is back in the day, there used to be like a little mini rapids or something here. And what they did was they got rid of them and built this. So the boat comes in along here, and then they close that gate, gently let out the water here, and then open that gate, and the boat can just go out, and that's up and down. I'm pretty certain that's how they work. I think that's what they do. But anyway, this is the lock, and it's really cool in my opinion. I like it, and it's just a really pretty area as well. I can imagine this would be nice to come for a walk. I'm obviously not going to do that because I'm in my boots and my gear, but it would be a nice place to come for a walk, I think. A pretty place. Very, very pretty, has to be said. Anyway, the main thing I wanted to get across here was how genuinely grateful I am for everyone who's given their time their patience watching the channel. People have been here since I made pretty terribly produced videos to now, and I think they're passable anyway. But I do appreciate it. I appreciate all the support, so thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the drone footage if it's there. A special thank you as always to all of my patrons. Your support does actually mean even extra, because what it is, it represents someone who thought that the channel was worth investing their own time and money into. And like, money's no joke. It takes a lot to earn it if you think about it per hour and whatever else. So I do really appreciate it. And yeah, anyway, thank you. Adios. Outro crew. I don't know, am I the only person who thinks this, but I think those trees are one of the coolest things about here. Let me know what you think. I really like trees. That hill, actually, that hill with the trees, it's just class. Some spot, I like it. Bye.